What's happening, folks? So just gonna break down how my week went. As you can see on the chart, there's only one position, which was on Wednesday. So I only traded once this week. I'm kind of just gonna talk through this trade, and then I'm just gonna do a bit of a recap on the week and sort of how I found that week, um, and what I'm gonna be basically working on going into next week. So leading into the session on Wednesday, the bias was bearish. However, I did take a buy, and I'm just gonna pull up the 4-hour chart. This is how price was looking leading into session on Wednesday, and this is mainly the reason why I opted to take buys today on this specific day, and it was solely because where prices reacted from its previous resistance. Price at the end of the day is making higher highs, higher lows. We're moving up in the market. So my sort of thought process was, well, if we fail to break down and we start to go bullish and break out of the range to the upside, that's going to give me opportunities to buy. And who knows, this little support area could be the completion of this overall 4-hour breakout, target created, pullback, support form, target to target, and then this could maybe continue on, because basically that's all I've been seeing on GJ. But yeah, it was very straightforward. At the end of the day, when I came to the charts on Wednesday, I wasn't planning on selling until I was below 183046 anyway. So until price is below there, the range below is a lot bigger compared to the range from below Asian low to this low. So that's going to provide me with much clearer opportunity. So when price failed to break down and London Open came in and we pushed down, rejected Asian low, and price started to break with volume, I took a buy above this 1-hour high here, and I was looking to target up. I was just targeting a 1-to-1, but I know the 4-hour resistance is here, which most likely would be the target. And as price started to push up and started to come into this little support zone, I just manually closed my position for a 0.5% gain, and that was that. Looking at price on the 30-minute, given the session bias was bearish, this could just be looked at as selling from above Asian range in line with the bias, and that would have worked out really well as well, because I feel like reflecting on this day, if I stuck to my bias and says, well, I'm only going to look for sells, I feel like this is where I could have got involved in a sell, which if I just take this off, I could have played a sell like this, breaking back into Asian range, play targets down the Asian low, or look for extension and potentially play something like that if we manage the position, if we come back out of Asian range. But that's how I feel like I could have maybe improved on this specific trading day. The remainder of the days this week, I decided not to trade on Monday. I just didn't like the session bias coming into it on the 4-hour. We're just like, we've obviously gapped on the open, and then this is another resistance. I just decided, what, Monday, I'm just going to let Monday go. I'll come back Tuesday, the rest of the week, and see how we're looking. So, reflecting then back on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we only had one day this week where the bias was actually like bullish or bearish, which was bearish on Wednesday. Every other day was a mixed bias coming into the session. And my sort of approach this week was, I was just sort of identifying cleaner areas to buy from based on higher time frames, and especially like the 1-hour and the 4-hour. So reflecting back, there was one thing I noticed, that there was definitely a lot of opportunities, especially Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, to trade in and around Asian levels, right? I'm just kind of thinking back to, I had a good discussion with Jacob on Friday about this, and just thinking back to sort of my goal for the remainder of the year, which is to just get into as many positions as I can which are sensible in and around these levels, and just focus on my live decision making. And that was something I feel like I didn't do so much this week. I was maybe looking for solid candle closes. I was maybe looking for a bit more confirmation on 4 hours, on 1 hours. Trading the targets on days where the bias is mixed. And not that any of that is wrong to do, but I just felt like it took me away from the sort of live decision making, which is what I focus on. And then of course identifying that and saying to myself, well, if I was to focus on that, what opportunities were there throughout the week where I could have capitalized on that specific? And especially on Tuesday, where price breaks out of the Asian range, there's no reason why I can't take a buy after at 7 o'clock, stops below the range, and if we maybe break below this or break below the low, manage to trade. Looking at Wednesday, I did capitalize on the push above, so that was fine. Looking at Thursday, clearly see that price is broken out. There's no reason why I can't get involved in a buy here, stops in the range, and manage breaking this lower, coming back in the Asian range, and just look to get into a position with volume at a time where volume is present. And clearly see that from 7 o'clock here on Tuesday there's a push, 7:30 on Thursday there's a push. We look to Friday, there was some news on Friday at 7, but we can clearly see then there's a push here with news. So I feel like especially Thursday and Friday there was opportunities that I had maybe overlooked or not paid attention to, because I was waiting for a bit more stronger confirmation. Especially on Friday, I was only looking for buys specifically. I didn't really fancy selling into this range, but there is range to play down to the support. And who knows, if you get volume, you can get a bigger push like the news just did. Again, I was sort of looking for cleaner areas to buy, especially on Thursday. I didn't fancy buying into this and into this. I was more looking for a breakout, a target, a pullback, a higher support, and then target that target, which never really came. So I found when I look back on what I was planning for that day and what actually happened, there wasn't, by the time price got to where I wanted to see it get to for a setup, there was already a move that had happened. So that's something I'm going to focus on going into next week, or tomorrow and this week coming, is paying attention to price in and around the Asian range, and can I utilize those zones as ways of getting into trades that make sense, time with volume, and manage the downside if price doesn't do what I want it to do. But I was also back working full time this week, so as much as I'm saying, I could look at these and say, well, these are actually missed opportunities, right? But not necessarily, because I was waiting for a bit more of a stronger confirmation, and the reason for that was just because I'm working, so I'm not able to give the charts full attention all the time. So just maybe waiting for something a bit more stronger that kind of suits being able to manage that while I'm working. So that's just this week. One opportunity, one win, 0.5% gain, which isn't too bad. But there is definitely a lot to work on. Kind of got a clear focus as to what I'm going to work on going into next week, and that should see an improvement in terms of the amount of trades taken next week. So I am expecting to be involved in the market a bit more. I am increasing my risk as well going into this week, this week coming, and it's a brand new month. So looking forward to that. And yeah, just a pretty quick breakdown as to how I get on for the week and sort of amount of opportunities that there were. But that's that. So I'll get that one uploaded anyway.